Heyo, it's Omnidog surprise Wednesday show for Omnibros. Cause I was sick a couple Fridays ago. Thought I was gonna go solo, but oh no, it's the insufferable Omnibus collect show. What up, Riley? How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, all things considered. The only thing I can really complain about is that I've got some bad back pain.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, for the past several days. I tried to do some stretches to help with it today. Um,
Is
so
it
hope.
anything skeletal or do you think it was muscular?
I don't know. I hope whatever it is, it's something that I can solve with stretches. Because the last time I had a bad shoulder pain, I got that done by doing just a series of stretches every day until it worked itself out, basically. So fingers crossed.
Hmm,
But aside from that, if you see me shifting around and going back in my seat, that's why.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Kane, very sympathetic. Kane, the fabulous mod.
Always nice and sympathetic to all of our issues.
Yeah, and speaking of issues, if you want to get hardcover and softcover collected issues at an extreme discount, you need to go to instocktrades.com where you can get 30% up to 80% off sometimes. There's a red tag sale going on right now where with some books 60% off, $150, 60% off. That's very affordable, and they were books that I bought at not 60% off. So take advantage of the red tag sale. Don't forget your 2% loyalty discount. We're at the end of April, so starting tomorrow, which is the beginning of May, isn't it? Yeah, Wednesday the 30th. Yeah. We'll get going on perhaps giving away the IST gift card worth $50 of credit in your IST account, drawn at random. Some lucky person out there will win $50 worth of credit. $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's in stocktrades.com. Oh, is VFC on right now? What Matt, good to see you. What's
I think
VFC up to?
I saw that he's talking about Sinners.
Oh, it's movie night there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't tune in because first, he wants me to see that really badly. So second, it would get spoiled if I watch that. Third, I wouldn't be on this show, and contractually, we are obligated to do this extra show. So we fulfilled our part of the bargain. So thank you for joining, Riley. I was going to do this solo, um, but I appreciate whatever time you can give us here.
I didn't want to let you do it solo, especially because I've only done one non-Thursday show this month so far. Because I keep up. I don't know if you do, but I do.
Keep track of what you do.
Yeah.
Uh, I
I
usually let you handle that.
so I keep track, and I was like, oh geez, it is the last day of the month, so I was like, I don't want Jess to go alone, and I also should do another show.
Nice. Oh,
So,
here's manga geekdom. What? Why aren't you on the show?
yeah, what's Geo up to?
Aku, Jess, are you getting the new 52 Suicide Squad and Red Lantern Omnis? That is an excellent question. I will come back to that, Aku, in 1 minute as I acknowledge everybody else that is in here. William Lee, this channel is terrible for trying to diet. Always ice cream talk. I didn't bring it up. You just brought it up, William.
I didn't bring it up either.
Yeah. It may have been in the title of the show. I don't know.
Oh, you did. You put dogs and ice cream, snacks, candy, and comics. I did. We did a lot of post Easter candy shopping.
Oh,
So I do have candy, but I don't really have much ice cream. I have a frozen snack though. If we do want to get into some food,
oh, I'm not I'm not passing up that chance. Javi, currently on my way to my LCS to pick up the newest Ultimate Spider-Man issue. Don't worry, I'm not driving. Okay, good.
Very convincing comment with the typo to let us know
I'm
that
it
you're not
driving. Joey from Down Under, welcome. Excammer, good to see you. Rami's here. Comic Boy, son of Matt H. Oh, he changed it to Mephisto
nice.
because Comic Boy knew that Silver Surfer 3 is the debut of Mephisto, and both Matt and I had forgotten that.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I would have failed a trivia quest. James Abel with the candy, thank you. Oh no, not that Riley character. Yes.
Yeah.
BKV, hey NFL dude, BKV wrote in a Substack newsletter today that Saga Hardcover 4 will be out in spring 2026. Wow, that's great news.
Hopefully we can make it until then.
That's a fact.
I haven't read any of the stuff since it came back from the big hiatus, so I am excited to grab that when it comes out.
I haven't read it either.
It might be due for a reread of the whole series at this point.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to start over. Yeah. Kane is eating leftover pasta with shrimp and clam sauce. Schmancy. Let's see. Oh, okay. Let me get back to what you said, Aku. Thank you for asking this question. Yes, I'm getting New 52 Suicide Squad. I am debating on Red Lanterns. I think I'm gonna make a video about it because I have that custom bound. Plus, I have extra issues that weren't in the. Was it like 8 trade paperbacks? I think. It has extra issues in it, so I have a custom bound. It's not it's omnibus size, but the paper is just trade paperback size. So I'm going to see what the contents of the Red Lanterns official book is, see how it matches up with what I've got, make a video on why you should buy it using my custom bound book, and then I'll decide if I should buy it. That was a long explanation. Sorry.
I was not asked this question, but I'm going to answer it anyway because I'm insufferable.
Yeah, and you're the omnibus collector.
I am the one. I will more than likely not get the New 52 Suicide Squad because if I recall, there's only like a small amount of issues of that series that I cared about.
It's not good.
When I think Matt Kent wrote a few issues and Alice Cott wrote a few issues.
Oh, yeah.
And I think those were the only, unless that was from another Suicide Squad series, because there were a lot. Like that book was constantly getting rebooted. Like they were just trying to do their best to get it to hit.
Yeah.
And it wasn't working out. I am, however, absolutely getting the John Ostrander Suicide Squad omnibus. That is a must. And I will be getting the Red Lanterns omnibus because I absolutely loved when Charles Soule took on the reins of the book and had Guy Gardner at the helm as the main character. Red Lantern Guy Gardner. That was such a great series. So while that may only be about half of the series, in my opinion, it's more than worthwhile to pick up the omnibus for that, especially considering a lot of those paperbacks, if not all of them, are very hard to come by these days.
I think even when you started the Facebook group in 2015, number 4 was already a whaleette. You couldn't find number 4.
Being the first of the Soule Guy Gardner stuff, I believe. Or maybe the last of the Milligan.
I think it was the last of the Milligan. I think they each got 4 trades. I remember you and I used to talk about it a lot. You disliked the Milligan stuff more than I did, but we both agreed that the Charles Soule stuff was amazing. especially when Kara becomes a Red Lantern. That was awesome.
It was a very, very, very fun run, and I'm happy to see DC continuing to put out this era of Green Lantern and related comics into Omnibus format, because it was such a long break after they did those 3 John's Omnis, and then finally they did the Green Lantern Corps. They put the second one out not too long ago, and now they're doing Red Lantern. So I'm hoping that we'll see others in this era coming out. I mean, they have the Venditti one coming out too, so that's cool.
Oh yeah. What else would be good? What would you put with Cullen Bunn's Sinestro? That was 4 trades. What could you put with that?
You could, I guess, throw in the Larfleeze series.
Yeah, those are both out of print.
I'm trying to think about what else was out around that time that would be additional, because the Venditti Omnibus is also collecting his Green Lantern Corps that he did with Van Jensen, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But we still need something for New Guardians.
Oh yeah, I have that all in standard hardcover, like I do everything.
Yeah, that's going to be something that I fingers crossed they do, and I hope they continue the Venditti stuff into Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, aka Hal and Pals, because in my opinion, that was like Venditti started to hit his stride in the last like year of his Green Lantern, and then when he went over and did that, he was really hitting it. Like it started off really well, and that was my preferred between that and Green Lanterns, which I think was Sam Humphries, the one with Jessica and Simon.
Oh, okay, yeah. Wait, you just mentioned New Guardians, right?
Right. So
okay.
Fingers crossed we get something for New Guardians, especially when Justin Jordan, I think it was writing it with Kyle in the lead.
Yeah, that was 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
And Tony Bedard was doing the first 3. Oh, that must be why I don't really care about that so much.
I don't really remember much of his.
Yeah, I really don't either.
I remember Tony Bedard on Green Lantern Corps when he took over pre New 52.
I don't think I read that. I started reading much more Green Lantern during New 52.
I remember that mostly because of Tyler Kirkham's artwork. And he did one arc called The Weaponer that was really cool, and it was about like a weaponer of Cord, and the covers were really dope. Yeah, anyway, I don't know what else I'd put in a book alongside Sinestro. Just I imagine it'd just be kind of a companion piece to everything else from this.
Yeah. Will you be getting Supergirl, New 52 Supergirl?
I never actually read New 52 Supergirl, so that would be a good opportunity for me to get that. But it really depends, like, what else is coming out at the time, if I can swing it.
They're pumping out a lot of New 52 this year, which is really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that I'm excited about, like All-Star Western get collected.
Totally. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Because all those are out of print.
Oh, yeah.
And the Jonah Hex ones before that are all out of print.
It's crazy that we're coming up on, 15 years since that started, since the New 52 started?
I think it started 2012, so yeah. Well, 15, 13.
We're close. We're getting close there. 15 years before the New 52 was 1997. Like, what was going on?
You mean 2007? Wait.
Oh, it was 2000.
Yeah, 2007. 15? What year is this?
15 years before 2012.
15 years before 2012. Okay, sorry.
1997. what was going on in comics in 97? Like late 90s, was Marvel doing Onslaught at the time?
I was not really paying that much attention.
I'm curious, like, just to put a kind of an idea on like the amount of time that has passed. They were doing, Marvel had Spider-Man Hobgoblin Lives was happening in 1997. X-Men, what were you doing? Scott Lobdell was on the X-Men. It was a different era. And it's crazy to think we're like about that much removed from the New 52. How
Yeah.
big of a gap that is.
What was going on with Superman and Batman in 97?
Comics 1997 was Batman and Robin came out, the movie, I think.
Was that was the George Clooney one?
I'm not 100% sure. Yes. Yeah.
Oh dear.
That was George Clooney. JLA by Morrison debuted that year.
Okay.
So Superman around that time was going to be blue and red.
Okay.
And Batman around that time was, if I just look up Batman 97, it's going to give me fucking Batman and Robin. Yep.
The movie?
Yeah, it just throws me right into the movie. That was Batman at the time was goodness, what's going on in here?
What search engine are you using?
Doug Munch was writing Batman at the time with Kelly Jones on art.
Oh, that run.
Batman.
Got it. Well, if we'll find out if Harvey Picar's ghost is yelling at me yet, because he loves Kelly Jones art, and that Batman one where he had ears to the ceiling, I was not a fan of. Here's Batnessa, back from a long time. It's been months since we've seen you. Good to have you back. Mike 456, did someone say Inhumans? We're all about Inhumans here tonight.
Inhumans Central. I am actually going to talk about my choices for the Omnibus poll. And there's maybe a couple of Inhumans on there.
Okay. Talk Elevator Sinestro Omni would be cool. Jewish Dragons is here. Nice. Always good to see you, Jewish Dragons. Speaking of Green Lantern, I really missed the Green Lantern animated series, the CGI one. We kind of received a conclusion in Crisis on Infinite Earths movies, but meh, I want more.
I still never watched that series, but I have heard very good things.
Larry, what up? Vote Inhumans Omnibus. Nice. I'm going to skip that one because it might be a spoiler because it just spoiled it for me. Beyond Comics from he's a Kiwi. Hey guys, I would also love a new Guardians Omni.
Hell yeah. When's the DC poll? Whenever that happens.
That's in the next month.
Vote for New Guardians for the DC Omnibus poll.
Yeah. Okay, Kane and Aku are talking about Carvel Comics. Carvel ice cream, I mean, sorry. Doc Elevator. Jonah Hex and All-Star Western are my most wanted Omnis.
Right. If the All-Star one does good enough, they'll go back and do the preceding Jonah Hex material.
Yeah. I love the Soul Inhumans run. Okay, they're still talking about Carvel ice cream, which is not a bad thing. Was 97 around No Man's Land?
I think it was right before. because if I'm not mistaken, that material that I mentioned, the Doug Munch, Kelly Jones, was almost directly preceding the material that like I don't have those books shelved right now, but the way that they were shelved about 5 months ago, it was the Munch and Jones, and then there's a Chuck Dixon hardcover as well. They're all standard sized, and then right after that, I had Road to No Man's Land, and then No Man's Land.
This says 1998. Road
Yeah.
to No Man's Land.
Yeah, so 97
Oh,
was around No Man's Land.
Yeah. Gosh, I forgot. Okay, I was reading this. And I'm going to start reading it again on the air. I forgot how good it was.
Great time for everyone.
Cataclysm. Yeah, Cataclysm was right before Road to No Man's Land. Thank you, Jewish Dragons. No Man's Land? Yeah. What are your 2 favorite Batman films?
Mask of the Phantasm, and it would, depending on my mood, go between the Batman and the Dark Knight.
The Pattinson Batman?
Yeah, Pattinson.
And then the Dark Knight, the second one.
Yeah, the second Nolan one.
Yeah, I will say I loved that Pattinson one a lot. I acknowledge how great Mask of the Phantasm is, but I think that besides Pattinson, I would say Dark Knight would be that's almost my first favorite. It's so deadly.
It's such every time I watch that movie, like I give enough time between viewings that like I get to this point where I'm like, like, I've kind of forgotten. And then I go back and watch it again. And I'm like, oh shit, like this movie is as good as I remember from the first time I watched it. Like I'm not gonna try and play it off like I'm some cool dude or something. Like The Dark Knight is just that movie.
Okay.
No disrespect to the Tim Burton movies, though. Those are both like.
I love the first 2, yeah, and that first one, yeah, that first one just rocked my world in the movie theaters. I must have gone 5 times to see it.
And then the second returns with Michelle Pfeiffer, Catwoman.
Yeah, she was great.
That rocked a lot of guys' worlds. I'll tell you that much.
I saw her in the Ant-Man movies, and she is still Michelle Pfeiffer. Good for her. Whatever her moisturizer routine is, peace and love. Love 90s Batman, however, wasn't a fan of Kelly Jones. Yeah, it has Kelly Jones. Yeah, Kelly Jones.
Well, at least you have someone in your corner. I'm not gonna dog on you for your opinion, but I'm glad that there are other people that share it.
Doug Munch, great writer. Yeah, I'm glad you're back, Batnessa. I'm just reading First Civil War, so first Inhumans viewing. What are your favorite of them? Our favorite Avengers movie or our favorite Civil War?
Favorite Inhumans comics?
Oh. I don't remember the Inhumans in Civil War now. Civil War.
What is your favorite Inhumans comic?
I think the Jay Lee run. I'm sorry, Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee.
I think that's going to be a lot of people's answer. Yeah, okay. I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent that is related, but it's still tangential. What's funny? So Omar was interviewing Kelly Thompson like yesterday or something, and I'm sure someone watching this was in there watching that. And I didn't stay in for the whole interview, but But James tagged over in, or just commented probably on Geo's Discord to let us know like that Omar and Kelly had brought up the Inhumans, and this is how it's related. She had talked about how much she loved the Jenkins and Lee Inhumans run, and that was like the first time that she ever knew anything about the Inhumans. And she said, and I'm paraphrasing here, like after she read that, she's like, "Holy shit! Like these characters are fucking great. Like, why aren't they the biggest thing in Marvel right now? Like, this is crazy. Why aren't they bigger?" And so of course I took that opportunity and I was like, "Oh, James told me to troll you guys about the Inhumans because you brought up the Inhumans." And Omar, being Omar, did highlight like every single one of my comments about them, and it was really funny. But I was like, I'm supposed to come in here and troll y'all. James didn't tell me to do that, but I was trying to point fingers to make it funnier.
Yeah.
And I was like, so yeah, I'm coming in here to talk about like, oh, you should do Inhumans. And like Kelly talking about the Inhumans, I was like, hey, you would be great like writing the Inhumans. And she was talking about how like she writes a bunch of female characters, and she wishes she wouldn't kind of pigeonhole herself into just being the one that writes female characters. And the fact that she writes a bunch of redhead characters as well, like redhead women. And she's like, but they're fun. Like, I like writing these characters, yada, yada, yada. And so I was like, hey, there's a lot of female Inhumans. And then I came back and I was like, hey, who's a redhead is Medusa from the Inhumans. And she saw that comment and read it before Omar like highlighted it, and she laughed at it.
Awesome.
And then they talked again like a little bit later in the interview, like he highlighted the comment talking about like, oh, you should write Inhumans. And she talked a little bit about how she really like she loved writing Medusa as part of A-Force, that she was kind of a character that she wasn't sure how to write, and talked about how she wrote her and how she kind of got used to writing her and her ideas on stuff, and that she would be interested in returning to those characters. So fingers crossed, if Marvel stops being allergic to Inhumans, I think she's one of many. I think there's going to be a lot of writers that would absolutely be interested in writing those characters. And it seems like one of the tricks to it is basically what both Jenkins and Saladin Ahmed did with Jenkins's run on Inhumans, Ahmed's run on Black Bolt.
Yeah.
Is doing something that's very self-contained and separated from the rest of the world around the Inhumans, like letting it focus on them entirely and not paying so much attention to like not being so bogged down by continuity. And that was like, Jenkins had never read Inhumans before he did that, so he didn't have any continuity bogging him down. He was just creating his own stuff, and that has famously gone on to become one of the most praised, if not the most praised, runs with those characters. And it's really the one that most people point to as a good introduction to those characters. And it kind of was what those characters were until basically Charles Soule took over. So it's not like Soule made many changes. He did a little bit, but like, yeah. So that long way of coming around and saying like, read Paul Jenkins and Jay Lee's Inhumans run.
I agree with everything, and I'm glad you spoke up in that.
I'm hoping that happens, because Kelly Thompson, great in everything.
Yeah.
But I would love to see her do more with the Inhumans for sure.
Hey, Doug. Matt H. Doug Minch does great in the original Moon Knight comics. By the way, just the Moon Knight, Jed McKay. Oh, you sent were awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I was happy to send those to you. That's a great series. Money, that's her moisturizer. It looked natural to me. she didn't look like she had work done, but okay. I mean, certainly that's possible, but you can usually tell when they start looking like the Joker. She looked like she hit the DNA lottery. William Lee, Dark Knight and the Batman.
I think everyone has great taste in this chat tonight.
Yeah, liked Kelly Jones, but can see why some people didn't like Brayfogle either at first. I do like Brayfogle. Hey, Derek, how's it going? Manga Geeka Discord, which is apparently where Riley is all the time. Dog's Vault Discord, he's not in there.
Everyone that watches the Thursday night shows pretty much is in that Discord.
Okay.
And so I joined, and I was a lurker, not even lurking. I just joined and wasn't even looking at it for a while. And I think there was like, I may have gotten tagged, or like maybe I just felt like commenting about something, but the way that my brain works, I'm not one of those people that will ever have notifications on their phone. Like, I always have to get everything cleared of notifications.
Yeah.
So it's the same way on like Discord on my computer. If there's ever the little black dot saying that there's something unread, I go and run and read that like immediately. And so I had left Geo's Discord unread for a long time, and then I went in and I was like catching up with everything. And so now like I keep catching up and reading what everyone's saying, and I'm like, I'm going to engage in conversation with these people because they're the same people we talk to every Thursday night anyway.
Yeah. Brian, good evening, y'all. I'm at work, so I'll have to check back on the replay, but hope you have a great show. Thank you. My top 3 votes were 2001: A Space Odyssey, Inhumans early years, and Machine Man.
A little crossover with the 2001 and the Machine Man also.
Yeah. No Concept. Hickman writes the Inhumans well, in my opinion.
I think that you have a good opinion, because that's very true. Hickman did really well with them in his Fantastic Four run. One of my favorite Inhumans, and I've talked about this, not characters, but like stories. I talk about this a lot, and I might be, it might not be a popular opinion, but I love all of the stuff that kind of led into it's the stuff that came after House of M and going into the War of Kings, like all that stuff in between, because it started with like Son of M, the mini series where Pietro was one of the mutants that lost his abilities and decides to go undergo Terrigenesis so that he can get his speed back.
Mm-hmm.
And that going into Silent War, and then all the different little stories that go on, like kind of leading into, speaking of Discord, my notifications are popping off. So my that whole series of stories, and I don't know, like I might be biased because they were some of the earlier those are probably the first Inhuman stories that I read before I read the Jay Lee stuff, the Paul Jenkins Jay Lee stuff. But that whole story was just really intriguing to me, and like the way that they treated Pietro's speed like it was an addiction, like he taking Terrigenesis was like doing drugs for him, and like he was going through withdrawals from the lack of having his abilities. All of that material is just fantastic. And I know that I'm talking about Pietro and not an actual Inhuman, but he engages with a lot of the Inhumans there. But then the Silent War is when they basically, the Inhumans find out like, he stole Terrigenesis from us, or Terrigen Mist and whatnot from us, and they go to Earth to kind of take revenge, I guess, on him for that. And that was my first real introduction to, I knew of the Inhumans mostly from the Fantastic Four cartoon in the 90s, but that was my first time reading them and really introducing those characters to me. And from that point, I was like, I need to go back and read more. And then I went and read the Paul Jenkins. And I have a very fond memory for all of those things.
If Marvel greenlights an Inhumans Omni, I'm hoping they start with the classic era. I personally agree with that. It's late it's in the morning where you are, Mike. I should go to sleep. Night all. Good night. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate it. Riley is a wonderful addition to the Manga Geekdom Discord. Chatting with him is always nice.
I appreciate
you've fooled Kane, haven't you?
I apparently have, and I appreciate those words very much, because I feel that since I don't often use emojis in my talking, like online, sometimes I may seem like I'm coming across too like stern or dry. And I also have a very dry sense of humor. So sometimes I feel as if I might come across that's why I named myself on here the insufferable Omnibus collective. I feel like I come across as a lot more insufferable than I mean to. So it does. I do appreciate the kind words on that.
I don't have the ability. I don't have the ability to do emojis in Discord for some reason. I think I do on my phone, but not on my laptop. But I'm never on my phone. I'm always on my laptop. So I lack emojis too. So maybe I should start putting laughs, try to find some kind of. I notice a lot of my jokes seem to fall flat in Discord. Maybe it's because I don't have emojis.
I put like LOL and LMFAO on stuff, but sometimes that just seems like I'm being an ass. Like I'm just like something LOL, something LMFAO.
None of my picks are going to make it anywhere near the top 20. It's still important you vote. I'm at work and you live in my ear. Haha. Thank God for long hair and AirPods. I'm going to be working on my how I voted video tomorrow. I'm going to do something that is a little bit different. It's not editing. I can promise you that. I will not be editing, but I'm going to do something different. And it's a little risky. So I called or texted a certain somebody who may or may not be on right now to see if he thought it was a good idea. Just because I've heard him criticize what I'm thinking of doing. But this particular person said, do whatever the F you want. And I said, okay. So I just sort of wanted to run an idea by a certain somebody and see what they thought. So yeah, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to put it out tomorrow.
Well, I'm not putting a video out, so I'm going to use some of my airtime tonight to talk about what I voted for anyone that's curious, and for anyone that might have not voted and might have a few things that they need to fill in on theirs, and I'll give you some ideas.
Okay.
If you want, I can go off on those right now.
Yeah, let me just catch up real quick.
Sure.
Here's another accusation. Great medical teams. I think that woman just aged gracefully. It is possible. Rita Moreno aged gracefully. She's still with us. She aged very gracefully.
And if not, then whatever, man. Like if I grow old and have a lot of money to do so, I probably would keep myself looking nice too.
Well, I don't want to draw attention to it, but I've noticed in this room with these lights, my neck looks really bad. I should really be wearing turtlenecks. I like my face is okay, but I'm like, whoa, that neck looks old, dude. I have to talk like this. I'll just start talking. I'll press here. Yeah.
Pull from the back.
Yeah. The nice part. Where's James? James may be over at the other channel. But okay, let's hear. I agree with this too. I agree with this. What did you put in your voting? That Now, in the Marvel reprint poll, there are only 5 choices. 10 is a lot to choose from in this most wanted omnibus poll.
I didn't do the reprint because I couldn't even think of any that I needed reprinted. But 10 for me was actually pretty hard on this.
Yeah, it's a lot. And
Was
there's like 600 choices.
No, it was hard because there were so many that I wanted to choose because they did like 650 plus, and I like kudos to everyone that worked on that.
Mm-hmm.
But I got it down to 10. 2 of them were Inhumans, and one of them is a joke that I have to do. But you know, I got it. Yeah. Okay. So
you bastard!
I put it. If you'll share that for me, please. My number 10 pick, of course, was Alf. I was the one that started the Alf Omnibus meme.
You were?
Yes.
What a dick! What'd you do that for?
I was on a live stream with Omar, and this was years ago. I don't even remember which live stream it was, but David was in the stream, and so I said, I was like, I think the way that I said it was there's an alien that has a licensed comic that, because we were talking about like the Aliens and Predator, because they hadn't gotten Marvel Omnis yet. I believe this is what the conversation is, and I was like, you know, which alien has a licensed comic at Marvel that deserves an omnibus? Alf. And I like, we were just going off about Alf for a little bit, and it was a joke, but it somehow that caught on.
Oh,
and now years later, people don't even know, because I don't even make like omnibus related content on my channel anymore.
right.
And people don't even know that it was me, but I was it was me. I was the one.
You were patient zero?
I was.
Wow.
And it's funny. It's really funny. I think about, like, I'm like Omar is looking back at it like he's that episode of Powerpuff Girls where Mojo Jojo finds out that he was the one that caused Professor Utonium to hit the chemical X.
Yeah.
And it ends with him just being like, it was me. It was me. And so Omar's like, I was the one who made the meme by having Riley on the show. It was me.
Now I need to. Oh, here it is. Alf Omnibus was born. Wow. On August 6, 2020. Jess, insufferable omnibus collector, and in very fine condition, were on it. So I was on it with you.
And you don't even remember.
No, 2020? Holy, I don't even remember last week. So that's 2020. I honestly, 2020 and 2021, I have zero memory of. Like hardly anything. Now that could be because I was on pain pills the whole time, because that's when my pain started. Actually, that might explain a lot. But yeah, good question. Yeah, how could you know that, James? That is actually kind of amazing that James knows that.
Don't question it. Like, I've learned not to. It's scary sometimes, but just go with it.
Yeah,
he does. He knows everything. Like, he's got access to. He is literally the man behind the man in the chair behind the computer. He knows everything.
Yeah.
I think after a while, you just learn to embrace it. And if I need something, James has got me. So that's my number 10 pick, completely for the memes. And where was my number 9? This is never going to happen from Marvel, but I voted for it. Because...
Did you make slides for all these?
No, I'm just opening it on preview.
Oh, okay. Well, still, you're taking it much more seriously than I thought you were. Okay, go. What is this?
For number 9, I put the Akira, the Epic Comics release, which was a left to right format colored version of Akira. This, if it happens, nothing's impossible. There is a universe out here where this already exists, but I think in this universe, it's not going to come from Marvel. If it happens, it's going to be Kodansha Comics, who is the current license holder to Akira, Kodansha Comics US, who is going to basically talk with Kodansha Japan, have the conversation, see if they would be okay with them doing a colored edition of it, and then reaching out to Marvel about using the colored edition that they published. So it would be like published entirely by Kodansha, but under some sort of permissions.
Okay.
By
Can you
Marvel.
can you explain this then? What does Marvel own the rights to, and what does Kodansha own the rights to?
I don't think that technically Marvel owns any rights. I don't know. It's really odd, but I would say just to tread carefully and be careful with what I'm saying in respect to all this stuff, it would just be the colored artwork.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't think there is I don't know, but there is a chance, depending on how those contracts were written up, that to use that colored artwork, they would need the permissions from either Marvel or maybe the colorists that worked on it. I think Pat O'Liff, maybe. So I don't know. I don't know what the contracts say, what the specifics are, but I can tell you if it ever does happen, it's going to be from Kodansha.
Oh,
not from Marvel. That's like, I'm 99% sure on that fact.
okay.
There's a chance that they do a co-publishing type of thing where they credit Marvel on it, because they do have books that are co-published between Kodansha and DC. But those are manga. They're the ones that came out, the Superman versus Meshi and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I put this on there just for funsies, but if it happens, it's not going to be from Marvel.
Okay.
Side note, I really want to see a reprint of Bart Kira, the one where it's all Akira as told through Simpsons characters.
Oh, I didn't even know about that. I'd love that.
That I don't know, like, if that could ever come back in any capacity, because it's, like a parody type thing.
Yeah.
The publisher didn't really have the rights to do that, so I don't think it can happen. My number 8, this is another kind of long shot, just the way things are right now, but
yeah,
Thunderbolts Volume 4, this would contain everything from Warren Ellis, Christus Gage, and Andy Diggle, as well as the one issue by Rick Remender and the Siege story arc that Jeff Parker wrote. So it fits snugly after Volume 3 and fills that entire gap until the Uncaged, or whatever it was called, Omnibus by Jeff Parker. So this is a really celebrated run on the Thunderbolts. It's kind of unfortunate that around the time that they would have gone in to have done this was also around the time when Ellis was in the hottest of water.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely like passed up on that at the time. But I think that like Marvel's already shown that Marvel and DC both have kind of shown that they're not against publishing his works. Marvel since has done Excalibur, and I think they had something else, another omnibus with his material in it. And it's not Ellis all the way through. Like, he only did 12 issues out of what would be like almost 40 total. So it would be the exact same as like the Excalibur omnibus. But it's a really important run because this is where they kind of reformed the Thunderbolts into something different that would morph into other things going forward. Like this, of course, was largely what turned into the Dark Avengers, and would turn into the Thunderbolts no longer being what it had been for 100 and something issues prior. Because before then it was like the Masters of Evil in disguise. And this was the first point where, aside from Fight Bolts, but we don't talk about Fight Bolts, aside from the Fight Bolts, this was where like the Thunderbolts shifted and was now they were a hero team because they were part of the initiative after Civil War, but they were made up of actual villains as villains and not villains in disguise as heroes. So that's my number 8. I'm fingers crossed that it can happen, but I know those books didn't really sell, so Marvel's not super keen.
Mm.
I don't think enough people will give it a vote, so maybe they'll see it and be like, okay, all right, we'll do it.
Okay.
What was my number 7? Oh, this one's fun. Sorry, this one's gonna be lesser quality, but I wanted to use this picture once I saw it.
Okay.
Share screen.
Hi, AS. Thanks for joining.
Hello. Another swimsuit special.
What the hell comic is this?
This was the Marvel the holiday specials, which includes the swimsuit specials. And I only want it for the swimsuit specials. At every convention that I go to, I search as much as I can in the free time that I have for the swimsuit special issues. And I know I could have easily bought them on like eBay or something before, but I'm going to conventions because I'm hoping I can get a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I never find them.
How many were there?
I think there's 3 or 4 swimsuit specials,
but
but
I've only got the first one.
There's other, because it's the holiday specials omnibus, so it's like Christmas, Valentine's, whatever the hell. But the swimsuit specials are going to be, and if they make this book, if it ever happens, fingers crossed, there's got to be like one of the covers has to be for the swimsuit special, and it has to be a beefcake cover. I don't want like, I do want
cheesecake.
I want She-Hulk on the cover, but I want it to be one of the guys. Ultimately, I want it to be, and that's why I chose this picture of Cap. But the pictures of all the dudes, especially, and this would be my top request, is they use the swimsuit special image of Ghost Rider for the cover.
I don't even remember it.
Okay, I'm gonna pull that up.
Please do. There's 5 total. I have the first one where She-Hulk's on the cover with her spine at a backwards L shape. She's like Plastic Man in it.
Okay, I'm gonna take this off and let's do this. Come on. This is the best image, and if this ever happens and this is not put on one of the covers, I am going to riot. And by riot, I mean I'm going to shake my fist in Omar's direction and tell him to send that to David.
What the God, I don't ever remember seeing this. Cliff on Comics joining. Thank you, Cliff. That is about Captain America.
That was America's ass.
Proves nice.
And here's Ghost Rider. Hey, Ghost Rider.
This is weirdly disturbing to me.
Put some clothes on, for Pete's sake. Sheesh, this ain't that kind of beach. You're showing a little too much bone.
Wow.
Wow is right, Jess.
This really kind of disturbs me for some reason. Why isn't okay, so the ocean's like boiling right when it comes near him. Okay, but it's not putting him out.
No. Those are scenes of vengeance, Jess.
Yeah, right. Is that a bottle? Okay, sunglasses, and is that a bottle of suntan or Bacardi right there?
It I believe is some tanning oil and the sunglasses as well, and they're both melted.
The more I stare at this, the more I love it.
It's amazing. It's one of the best things that Marvel's ever published.
It's super creative. Who drew this?
Tristan. I don't remember what the artist. Chat. What's the artist's name? James.
James,
can you find me the artist?
James, please tell us who the artist is. If only we had Dom of X in here. He could look at it right away and just know. But that was as soon as I saw the bubbling water near him, I started to get into it. At first it creeped me out, but now I love it.
Well, I'm glad I could turn you on that one.
Yeah.
My next choice, number 6, This is one I've been pining for a long time, and I mention it all the time.
Oh yeah.
Do Incredible Herc by Greg Pak, Fred Van Lente et al. I love this run so much. I got into it because at the time that it was being published, it had already been published for a little while. It had been going for a little bit. Herc had already been in the leading role there. And I remember IGN did a top 10 currently running Marvel. And I looked through all those and I was like, I'm reading most of these, but one of them that I wasn't at the time was Herc. So I went out and I bought the first couple of hardcovers or so, or the first couple paperbacks of that run. And immediately I was like, this is gold. I love this run so much. Such a fun series.
I don't think you recommended this to me before.
If I haven't, I'm pretty sure that I did. And if I didn't, I'm not sure why I didn't.
I know you recommended, one of the first recommendations was the Jeff Parker Hulk, which I read and loved.
Which, spoiler alert, is next that I'm going to talk about.
Ah, well, I can vouch for it.
No, but if I haven't recommended this, then I don't know why I didn't, but I'm pretty sure I did at some point. It's so what this is with Planet Hulk, or not Planet Hulk, World War Hulk. The series turns into, from the Incredible Hulk into the Incredible Herc. The World War Hulk run is where that starts to happen, and like after that, Hulk goes off in the Jeff Loeb title, and Hercules takes over on Incredible. And it's just such a fun time. It is it's a blast. It's mostly like humor superheroics, and you get fantastic stuff like the mighty Thorcules versus the what do they call him? It was the mighty Thorcules, and it's Thor versus Herc. And have this whole fight that's filled with like amazing onomatopoeia, where like one of them like twists the other's nips and it says like "nerp" like as he twist.
Oh! You have told me about that.
Yeah.
With the onomatopoeia, now that does ring a bell.
That's one of my favorite issues in all of comics, where they're fighting, and I think I don't remember who is hitting who, but one of them kicks the other in the nuts, and the sound is "crack." And I love it. I absolutely love it. And it's kind of playing off of Thor's sound effects back with like the Walt Simonson run, where he would have like crack-a-coom and stuff like that. And so they're making all these just crazy sound effects throughout the issue, and it's hilarious. I love it so much. And it goes on for a while. Like after Hulk took back over on Incredible Hercules, they continued the run into Herc, which was tied into like Spider Island and stuff like that. And so you have like, I believe there was a 6-armed Hercules running around for a little while. So it's a really fun time. I know that like there's not gonna be any like thing to tie in as far as marketing goes. Like I know they introduced Hercules at the end of Thor 4, but like we've seen nothing about him coming back.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say like they're gonna do something with that, but like they should just do this because it's damn fucking fun comics is what it is.
Is this 2 complete collections?
I think there are 2 complete collections out, and I don't know if they cover everything or not. I do not remember off the top of my head.
Okay, I know right where they are. Let me go see. Why don't you bring up your next one? Oh wait, I mean I know right where they are. Let me go see if I've got them. Okay, I'll be right back.
I can, if they're not complete. I'm telling Jess, if they're not complete, I can get him a list of everything. But I know there's at least 2 complete collections, and then it goes into, there's a event called Chaos War that was mostly tied into Herc, and that kind of like wrapped up his story, and then that was when it went off into being Herc, I believe.
Okay, I wouldn't own these unless you had told me to get them.
There you go. They're fantastic. If there's material that's not collected in there, I will get you a list.
Okay.
I will tell you.
Incredible. It goes up to 137. 106. Okay, so Incredible Hulk becomes Incredible Herc for a while.
You said the second one goes to 137?
Yeah.
So it almost covers everything. There should have been one more book.
Oh, okay. Is it in book 2? Wait, in book 2 where the onomatopoeia fight happens?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
Thorcules versus Hercuthor.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't see anything.
So after issue 137, there was the assault on New Olympus. And then it went into, that was kind of a little mini event within the Hercules book. It was Assault on New Olympus, and then Fall of an Avenger and Prince of Power kind of wrapped up that era. And then it was relaunched into Herc after that. And Herc has a complete collection. And that kind of wraps everything up. But there's also the Chaos War event.
Is this what you were referring to?
Yep. That's exactly it.
Back. Here's wait, let me highlight myself. Here's the gotcha again. Back at ya.
Back at ya.
Back at ya. Thor. I want to see the nip thing. Thwomp, Thapam, Shoop. Kapunch. This looks great.
Yeah, Jess, why have you been sleeping on this?
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing.
So that was my number 6 choice, and my number 5 is, as you mentioned already, the Red Hulk by Jeff Parker. Which that run is after the Jeff Loeb stuff. So part of it was happening contemporaneously with this Herc stuff. Some of it was.
James found out that Tristan Shane did that Ghost Rider.
Perfect.
Nicely done, James. Thank you.
I knew you could get it.
Why is this moving my computer now? Okay. Do I have to do I have to read anything before these Hercs?
I mean, you could read, if you haven't read Planet Hulk and World War Hulk, you could read those, but I mean, you don't really need to.
I've read both of those, but it was a long time ago, so that could be
you know what happened. Like, Hulk gets shot to Sakaar.
Yeah.
And then he's mad.
Right.
And he comes back.
Right.
That's basically it. Like, and
okay.
And
this is what happens while he's doing those things?
No, the first one starts during World War Hulk.
Oh, okay.
So you're literally going to be reading stuff that's happening while Hulk has already come back to Earth.
Oh, yeah, I see Hulk in this. Yes. Yeah. Oh, he's not looking happy at all.
So I wouldn't say that you have to do any rereading. Like, if you want to just jump right into that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what you need to pick up after that also.
Is that Gary Frank art?
I believe so.
I recognize these teeth anywhere. That's got to be Gary Frank.
Yeah, no, that absolutely.
Interesting.
And this is where Amadeus Cho comes from also.
Oh, and She-Hulk's in it? Okay. Oh, I have to read this. I am extremely excited by this. It looks awesome.
And that, folks, is why Marvel should put this into an omnibus.
Yeah, it looks super awesome. Now, I read what Riley's going to talk about now. This is one of the first recommendation. It might have been the first recommendation.
I was like gunning hard for this one back in the day. I still do talk about it whenever stuff comes up about Red Hulk, because this run is so good. So following after Jeff Loeb's run on the Red Hulk, after Jeff Loeb's run on Adjectiveless Hulk, after he introduced the character and told us that Red Hulk was Thunderbolt Ross, this is Jeff Parker takes over, and the plot line from there is like, the spoiler alert for what happens at the end of that whole run. Basically, the intelligentsia more or less kind of tricks Thunderbolt Ross into doing something that puts him in a position where like he's now a terrorist and traitor to the country, and so he's on the run. But he has to stay as the Red Hulk because as soon as people like he himself, Thunderbolt, is wanted. So he's on the lam, but he has to stay as the Red Hulk, which of course means that he has to keep himself in the form of the monster that he hates the most. Like the thing that he hates the most in the world is the Hulk, and now he has to resemble the Hulk, or else he will be taken in by the US government. And so that's a lot of what this series really starts as. And there's a lot of, Hulk coming into contact with other heroes and stuff around the Marvel universe, him coming into contact with, and running from the military and stuff. And it's just a really fantastic run. If you've read anything else by Jeff Parker, you know how great of a writer he is. And this is one of my favorites of everything that I've read of his. And he's joined by just a cavalcade of incredible artists, including one of my favorites that I really love because of this run was Gabriel Hardman. God, man, his artwork was phenomenal on here. So this would be not just Red Hulk, but Red She-Hulk, which is also by Red.
Those two books were so great.
Which Red She-Hulk is like, just it goes like into a way more fun direction, like when it starts following Betty. And I remember specifically the whole Route 616, like the road trip across the Marvel universe, and her being joined by like Machine Man and stuff. Fantastic series. I've been gunning for this for a long time. I hope that one day it will finally happen. We kind of missed our window of opportunity with the new Captain America movie, but you never know. You never know what could happen. But yeah, and it has the Omnidog seal of approval as well.
Love that whole thing.
The next one I really don't know much about, but I want it. So
that's enough.
That's enough for me. I literally, like, as I was scrolling through all the books, I was like, oh, I want that.
It's I remember reading this. Marvel has the rights to this? Was this a Marvel book?
Well, yeah, they were originally under Epic. They were published by Marvel. So there is other Hellraiser material that was not. But I love I hesitate to say I love the Hellraiser movies because I only really care about like the first two.
Right.
After that, it just falls off a cliff. Mm-hmm. But the universe and the lore, like everything that Clive Barker created within those and like his short stories and stuff are so fascinating. And like, I have never gotten the chance to read these stories and I would love to. Probably won't happen, but whatever. It's my wish list. I don't have anything else to say about it, but that's my number 4.
Okay.
My number 3, I equally don't have much to say about it, but I've been wanting this for a long time. I could have done this a little better, but whatever.
No, everything's working out perfectly. Oh yeah, I've seen a lot of people want this.
I like since day one when like the whole acquisitions happened and we saw like, oh, they're gonna do Star Wars comics again, I was like, for the love of all that is good and holy, please give me the Indiana Jones comics, because it's not a ton of material. Like, it's enough to fit into a single book, the original Marvel years. And I know there's other stuff I think that like Dark Horse published, but like, just give me that. I love Indiana Jones. I like, my buddies and I just watched through the original movies, and largely they still hold up outside of a little bit of Orientalism, but like,
Right.
aside from that, they're great. And I would love to see Marvel put out this collection. One other that I didn't vote for, because we're at the top two, are both Inhumans. So another third party license that I didn't put in here that I really want. Shit, it was on my mind right as I started talking. Another non-third party, another Marvel one that I didn't vote for that I really want though is Punisher by Greg Rucka. That one would have been on my list. I kind of was a toss up between that and the Thunderbolts. So
Okay.
that would be like a number 11. There was another licensed series that I was literally just thinking about. It'll come to me later, but in the meantime, I'll get into my top two, which are both Inhumans titles.
I used to collect these too, Derek. I read them. I love Nightbreed. I remember reading the novel.
Okay, so number 2 is going to be the classic Inhumans Volume 1, the original. Oh, the third part, the like license that I didn't put in there was Tarzan.
Oh,
I would love to see the original Tarzan. I think another publisher recently put all of that into a hardcover, but it wasn't omnibus sized. Anyway, I digress. Number 2, classic Inhumans, the early years, Volume 1. This is going to be largely like the stuff that's collected in the first couple of Marvel Masterworks. So this is like the origins of the Inhumans, the early stories of theirs. I don't want this one as much as my number 1, but I think that it does need to happen. I personally think that if you want to draw people to the Inhumans, this is not exactly going to be the one to do it, but it's the one that needs to exist. They all need to exist, but this is the one that really needs to be out there. The fight for the Inhumans, though, I want to mention, like, because I've talked about it here, and I know that Gio's talked about it, and I've talked about it on the Thursday shows and stuff like that. We've been so just baffled by Marvel's apprehension to do anything with the Inhumans, especially in collected editions, when we've been getting omnibus for stuff like Strike Force Morituri and the freaking like cross-gen books and all these crazy things. But the freaking Inhumans don't, like, Marvel's royal family does not get an omnibus, not even a single one. Like, come on, guys. So it needs to happen. And my number 1, I think, is an obvious pick at this point, since we already talked about it here. And it's the Marvel Knights Inhumans omnibus, which would include the Jenkins and Lee series that we were talking about. For everyone who's completely unfamiliar with the Inhumans, this is the royal family up front in this issue. These are going to be your main characters that were in that 12-issue maxi series, and they are largely the focus of the later material that would be collected in this same book as well. I think the map for this book would be the 12-issue series plus the Pacheco series that had the artwork by Ladron. So really gorgeous series. I think it's only 4 issues. And then I think another 12-issue series by Sean McKeever, which was the Young Inhumans. And so it kind of was a different cast of characters. But this would be, I think, the best book for those who are Inhuman curious, if you will, uninitiated, to jump into these characters, because it introduces you to really the modern version of this royal family, and it shows you what they're all about. It's a perfect introduction to like let you know who they are within the Marvel universe. And I think it's something that, as many of us experienced, you pick this up and it's going to turn you into a fan. It's going to make you wonder, like, why the hell are these characters not at the forefront? Like, why are they not the most popular thing ever? Because it's such a cool book. That's it. That's my number one.
Nice.
Vote for Inhumans. If you haven't voted for anything yet, hopefully I gave you a couple things to think about, and fingers crossed that you will strongly consider the Inhumans for your personal list. Because it's just, again, it's crazy that Marvel, after so many years and so many hundreds of omnibus that they have out there, Mark Guggenheim is getting his own X-Men omnibus, and there's not a single Inhumans omnibus. Like, what world do we live in? Anyway, that's all I got. Oh, I can show you some candy before I leave.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, James. I will make sure there's a link in my video too tomorrow. I'll have a couple of links tomorrow. Special links. Oh. I'm going to get something to tie my shirts up like this. Yeah. So, these books are good, apparently. Oh, good. Here's Riley.
I'm telling them about all the candy. Okay, so anyway, first I'm going to show you our frozen treat that we've discovered. These are Fruit Riot, sour, what is it? Sour grapes. There's two different types. So what these are is they are frozen grapes coated in with like a candy coating and lemon juice, and they're extremely sour.
Ooh, I love that.
So these are the fruit flavored version. There's they're still grapes, but the candy coating, there's mixed berry, lemon lime, and green apple. All of them delectable. The other one is just grapes with sugar and lemon juice.
And is that in the freezer section at the grocery store?
It's in the freezer section.
Okay.
They're I completely forgot, but they're frozen chunks of mango, right?
No.
They're grapes with
flavored grapes.
Oh, there's mango flavored and pineapple flavored grapes as well.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't like mango, and pineapple's been hurting my tummy lately, so I haven't gone for either of those. But these are great. If you like sour stuff, these are probably the most sour.
Oh, that is a challenge.
Yeah, this is like far and beyond most of the things that I've had. And I think the frozen aspect of it might add to the sourness, because you're already like tackling the extreme cold in your mouth, and depending on how sensitive your teeth are, that's going to affect you. And then at the same time, it's like super duper sour.
My salivary glands are flooding my mouth right
now. Dude,
now.
Me too. And I've got them on me right now. Like, I just don't want to eat one, because you're going to see me wince, and it's going to take me a minute to eat.
I want them so sour, I'm down on the ground squirming, begging for help.
Get them. Next time you go to the grocery store,
okay,
look in your freezer section for Fruit Riot.
Thank you. This is the best part of the show. Thank you.
These, your mileage may vary. We had to separate. So let me show you. We have two containers for candy. This is fruit flavored candies, and this is chocolates.
Okay.
I had to take these out of the chocolate because they smell so strong. Now, of course, they're Reese's cups.
Oh.
But Riley, you say, what kind of Reese's cups are they? I'll tell you, Jess, and you're going to say, that sounds great. Chocolate peanut butter pie flavored.
That sounds great.
They do sound great. But they're not bad. But they don't taste like a freaking chocolate peanut butter pie. and the smell, it's like the strongest toffee smell.
Coffee?
Toffee. Yeah. It's, and I don't dislike toffee, but it's like they put toffee bits into this, and so it's kind of a misleading whole thing. Like, it doesn't taste like a chocolate peanut butter pie. I love chocolate peanut butter pie.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is not that at all. And these are not bad, but they are the smell is so strong that if I don't keep them in their own bag, I can smell it from outside of the bag. But if I don't keep them in the bag, the whole pantry get like this thing. I had to take them out and like air out. I used Febreze, dude. Like I put Febreze into this to get the smell out of it. So buyer beware, caveat emptor, dude. Like, go for it if you want, but I'm not going to tell you. This is just a mainstay in this household. The nerds clusters.
Oh, I haven't had gummy clusters before. I love nerds.
Go get the gummy clusters. S tier.
S tier. Okay.
We went post Easter candy shopping, so we have a lot of stuff that a lot of stuff that we've already finished, a lot of stuff that we haven't, but there was this there was a whole big like plastic egg of Warheads stuff, and it had classic Warheads, it had Warheads ropes, it had Warhead whatever, and then I also got this Warheads jelly beans. They're not super sour, so if you like sour-ish but don't want the whole puckering and leaving some of your tongue numb for a little while, those are good. And that's
I want them so sour I have to go to the ER.
Then get the grapes and eat all of them.
Okay.
Got this carton of Reese's Pieces eggs.
Ooh, I like that.
And a Robin's Eggs bag, the Whoppers.
Oh, okay.
So they're Whoppers with the candy shell outside.
Wait, Whoppers, they're the malt balls, right?
Yes. And so Robin Eggs has like a candy coating outside. M&M peanut butter eggs. Haven't opened these yet.
How big are those?
They're just normal-ish size, but like egg shaped.
Okay.
And then of course, Reese's eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. And then bite-size Twix.
Oh, well. I think Twix might have moved into first place in my life.
Dude.
Recently, it overcame 100 grand.
100 grand's very underrated candy.
Yeah, right?
100 grand has, because it's got the little Rice Krispies and the caramel and what is it? Is that it? There's one more. I feel like there's something else in there.
Well, it's chocolate and the caramel is super chewy. Like you're 100 grand little mini, you'll be working on that for several minutes.
I can't disrespect your choice at all if you decided that 100 grand was number one, but I definitely can't disrespect you for saying that Twix is number one, because they are all winners in my book.
Nice.
And I'm pulling out all of these so I can get down to the stuff at the bottom. Not to say that the stuff at the bottom is any better or worse, but it's just the stuff that we had the earliest. Speaking of caramel that you're going to work on for a while, these Werthers, these are what were they? The creamy or the chewy? The soft caramel?
I think they're the soft caramel.
I don't even, like, you can't even pull them off the wrapper. You have to just kind of like lick them out.
Yeah, I think those would pull out some of my crowns.
Yeah, I can't really fuck with that. Yeah. And then the Tony Chocolonely's.
Oh, Kane might have talked about Tony Chocolonely's before.
So these are like sourced without slave labor.
Yeah, I think Kane's talked about it before.
Really high quality chocolate, and we got a bag that had kind of a mix, and the favored in this household is the what is it, salted, the milk chocolate with caramel and sea salt specifically
from Chocolonely.
Yes, and they do sell it in a whole bar, and we do have like
I ate a whole bar of it the other day.
So, but this is regular milk chocolate. The bag had all these small medallions, if you will. Here's milk chocolate nougat is the yellow one. And then I think this is a dark chocolate. Yeah, 70% dark, And then here's a dark chocolate almond with sea salt.
Oh,
And then just an assorted bunch. In my ripe age of 34 years, my mom still gives me a bag of Easter candy. So this is
oh,
all.
that's so sweet.
You also have all those caramel chocolate bars.
Yeah, we do have. We have like 4 different types of milk chocolate salted caramel bars because we did a taste test. So mostly so she could find what the best one for her was. And we had already tried the Tony's, and we ended up mutually agreeing that Tony's is still the best.
The best.
Milk chocolate caramel sea salt.
Okay, milk chocolate.
Yes,
Okay.
specifically milk, not dark.
Yeah, I like the milk chocolate better than the dark chocolate. I may or may not have bought 6 chocolate only whole bars the other day at CVS.
Hell yeah, man. All what flavors? All the
All
same?
those that you named.
Hell yeah. And that's my like that's our stash right now, our candy stash.
Nice. I highly approve of that.
So yeah, got that again for those in the audience, and Jess, Fruit Riot.
Derek and I are definitely gonna give it a go.
What was it, babe?
Very low calorie.
Very low calorie.
The grapes are huge.
They're rather large grapes, and you can have about 5 to 7 pieces for 45 calories.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, they're massive.
They're good for you too.
Yeah, nature's candy plus
Yeah.
actual candy.
It's fruit.
So yeah, that's my top 10 picks for the Marvel Omnibus poll. That's my new candy. That's my frozen sour grapes. What else do we got? That's the puzzles that we showed you before the show. Jess, if anyone watching builds puzzles and you haven't tried a magic puzzle,
Oh yeah, those things were super cool when you showed them to me.
big recommend. And we're watching through every single DreamWorks animation movie, and it's going terribly. There's 50 of them, and most of them are bad.
Wow.
But Trolls 3 is delightful.
Trolls 3?
Trolls 1 is good. Trolls 2 kind of missed the mark in the third act. It wasn't great, but Trolls 3 delightful.
I cannot believe it, but okay.
And with that, I must bid you adieu.
Oh, can you give us real quick the sugar content of those grapes?
Oh yeah, of course. I would love to. Total sugars 7 grams, and it includes 3 grams of added sugars, and that's per serving of 5 to 7 grapes.
Okay.
And that's specifically with this type, the one that has the berry, lemon, lime, and green apple. I can't say if it's the exact same for the others.
Okay. It's fruit, it's candy, it's Frandy. I accept. Here's the Omnibus Collector's YouTube and Manga Geekdom's Discord. Thank you, James. And thank you, audience. And one place that doesn't have sour candy, but it would be really cool if they did, would be InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions from 30 to possibly 80%. I know they have a red tag sale going right now. Lots and lots of deals in there. Don't forget your 2% loyalty discount. May is right around the corner, like tomorrow, and we will be giving away a brand new $50 gift certificate to a lucky winner out there. $50 or more in an order gets you free shipping in the United States. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com. Yeah, baby. Thank you, Riley, for being here. It was a delight having you. And thank you, audience, for being with us. We enjoyed having you. I am Omnidog. I will be trying to put out my top 10 wanted books tomorrow, and there may be a mystery show on Friday. I haven't decided yet, but look for a possible mystery show. And Friday, Friday at 8 p.m. is Omnibros. So there you go. So thank you for watching. We appreciate you all. Thank you so much. And wait, I know Kane's here, so let me do this. Okay, and then now we're gone. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Peace and love. Peace and love.